Today we're going to work with the idea of percent. Everywhere we look, we see things written in terms of percent. Take a look at this weather forecast. Relative humidity given in terms of percent. Okay? How about this sale in the newspaper? 50% off printers. How about on the food we buy? Nutritional facts. Here's saturated fats. The daily allowance is 50%. Cholesterol, 10% of the daily allowance. Look at this budget report. Rent, 34% of the budget. Food, 25% of the budget. Transportation, 10% of the budget. So everywhere we look, things are given in terms of percent. And that's because people understand percents. So let's look at what this word means. Let's break it down into two parts, per and cent. We recognize the word per from when we were studying ratios. Per simply means out of. And cent, well, we hear about cents of a dollar. How many cents in a dollar? 100. We hear about centuries. How many years in a century? 100. We hear about centimeters. How many centimeters in a meter? 100. Guess what cent means? 100. So percent simply means out of 100. So when you hear a number like 50%, that means 50 out of 100. So now let's try changing these fractions into percents. If I have the fraction 17 hundredths, well, that's just 17%. 81 hundredths, 81%. Now what about 7/10? Well, I know that 10 is a factor of 100, so I'm just going to times the top and bottom of this fraction by 10 so that I can get it to be out of 100. And I get 70 hundredths or 70%. How about this one? 5/25. Well, again, 25 is a factor of 100, so let's times this one top and bottom by, you guessed it, 4. And we get 20 hundredths or 20%. How about 6/20? 20 is a factor of 100. 20 times 5, right? So times the top and the bottom by 5, and we get 30 hundredths or 30%. Okay? 3/4, top and bottom times 25. 3 times 25 is 75%. I think you guys probably have the idea. If you don't, rewind it and watch it again. But if you're ready, let's pause and try these three on your own. Then turn the recording back on. Go ahead and pause now. Okay, are you back? Okay, well, 12 over 100, 12 out of 100, that's just 12%. Oops. How about 9/10? Well, that's the same as 90 hundredths, so let's call that 90%. And 7/20, 7 times 5 is 35%. How'd you do? Hopefully good. Okay, now what about if you want to change a decimal to a percent? Well, let's read this decimal the right way. 5 hundredths. 5 out of 100, that's going to be 5%. Now, As I move through these, I should probably understand what we're actually doing. We're doing, here I've got 5/10. If I times that by 100, it's going to give me my answer in terms of percent. So what's 0.5 times 100? Well, I just need to move my decimal over 2 spots, right? So that's going to be 50%. How about 26 hundredths? Well, that's an easy one. That's 26%. How about 125 thousandths? Well, again, let's think of this in terms of times 100. If I times this by 100, I move the decimal over 2 places, and I get 12.5%. Okay, that's our lesson for today. Now you should understand how to change fractions and decimals to percents. So go ahead and stop the video and do your best on the worksheet, and we'll see you tomorrow.